Everyone, welcome to episode 9 of the Couch Cat podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Ryan, also known as Paizen. I'm joined by fellow co host, Alan, also known as Crazy Fi.
Hello.
And on this episode, we'll be discussing the September updates for SimpleMMO, as this is our monthly roundup podcast episode. We do it once a month and we recap all the updates and other news related to the game SimpleMMO. But first, before we get into it, Alan, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm ready to knock out this podcast. Let's do this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Got a lot of Modern Warfare beta. I don't even know what to call it. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I don't. It's the same name. It's like God of War. Yeah, I'm good too, man. I went to Costco today and they had Celsius back in stock. So, Celsius, if you want to sponsor this channel, you know who to contact. Well,
All right.
without further ado, then we'll probably never get sponsored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get on to what has happened to Simple Mo in the month of September. Just disclaimer: it is the 24th of September at the time of recording. So if anything happens in the last month or the last week of September, don't take it out on us. Okay, we just time crunch. So Alan, if you wouldn't mind starting us off.
Sure. So there are several different updates across September since the 24th of September, of course. There were 10 updates.
You
That's
okay?
some math right there. You could edit that part out. Don't worry about it.
No, I
10
can't.
updates. uh, right on. Anyways, so yeah, so far there have been 10 updates in the month of September. The first one was on 6 September. Mike released version 11.21. This covered changing the trade chat to advertisement chat. And this was actually a very controversial change
For some
uh,
people.
for
For some
some
people.
people. If you've
Mm.
seen some of our streams, we talked about it and how some individuals did not appreciate the advertisement chat and what that meant. But I think it's good. Essentially, you have the advertisement chat holds the last 50 advertisements from players, like giving away free items or whatever else.
Oh, you mean
Um,
like daily items needed for the daily event or
yep,
worship?
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
I don't
yep.
know who that would be. It could be anyone.
Anyone. Anyways, um, Mike also did some UI UX fixes, or
Mm.
just helped out the quality of life in the game. He added a potions quick button, a party quick button, and both of those on the travel page. So if you look at it, you could actually see it all lines up. You have the potions, the party, and then the sprinting button as well. So that's pretty nice. He added the legacy leaderboards and he renamed points to tokens in the item dump, which cool, I guess. It is what it is. It's
I
just
think I think it aligns with what's going on in the official Discord. Like they have like a token system, right, for the
oh
gaming center.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
So
makes sense. That's fair.
yeah,
Keeping it consistent, standardized.
enabling enabling gambling for young players.
Hell yeah, that's what we do nowadays.
Hell yeah.
Except Twitch said no now. And of course, there's various bug fixes. Then Mike decided to drop another update on the same day, version 11.22. This added the auto kick players from the travel party, which is phenomenal.
Mm.
Now, as a
Not for
travel
me.
party leader, yeah, as a
Not
travel
for
party
me.
leader, it's great because I don't have to worry about people going inactive and then having going through the system to kick them out. You could set a time limit of 5, 10, 30, and so on
Mm.
minutes to if they're inactive for that amount of time while you guys are stepping, the game will automatically kick them out of the party, which is nice. So that 5-minute timer is kind of nice. Redeemed rewards are now automatically hidden on the daily reward page, which cleans it up really nice. So it's not just a whole crap ton of different um, already claimed awards just sitting there on your page.
Mm.
So more quality of life stuff. He added the loading button to the travel party page, and then also you can go to the a player's travel party directly from their player page, their profile page. So that's nice. You don't have to look for it. See that they're in a party, look for it in the stepping party
Mhm.
menu. You could just go straight to their profile page and join it if you want, if there's space. And then finally, item descriptions are now shown when showcasing them on your profile, which I think this is great because a lot of the items that people have on their showcases are built around the description. You know, the
Yeah,
description is very important, so it's nice to see that that part is added.
yeah,
So it's been interesting updates.
yeah. Pretty cool. I hope I hope one day Mike removes or makes its own channel for the freaking notifications when a player gets like a celestial or like a background or something.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
cause
yeah,
dude, global chat gets bombed by that shit right now. Which especially is the case when everyone's stepping for an event.
yep,
But
yeah,
so the next update would be 9 September, and it's version 11.23, and it's a big update. It's a game changing update, if you will. We don't get these often. So the library update released, and what that do? That enabled players to be able to write and share their own books in the library. There are a plethora of categories for the books, just like any other library would. There's lore, guides, poems, humor, stories, uh, biographies,
biographies.
and
Yep,
miscellaneous.
yep,
And I stress miscellaneous because fan of the show, Maven literally did a book about bread. So there's that.
yep,
It costs the player 150 million to publish their own book, and there's a 10,000 character limit on the book. So that's a lot to work with. Okay, um, instead of publishing your book on Amazon, you could publish it within SimpleMMO,
yeah,
and players can choose to either read the books for free in the library, which is under the town section on browser and mobile, um, or you can choose to own the book to support the author slash publisher. It'll cost you 35 diamonds to do so. And the author will receive gold every time a book is purchased. I think it's around 2.5 mil or 2 mil, something like that. Um, so you can essentially keep the books forever, and if the author, or the book gets like depublished or removed from the library, you still have a piece of history
yeah,
because that's what this update pretty much opens up the game to. It's just player created lore. But Crazy Fi and I, or Alan and I, we really hope that official lore gets put into the game through this medium. If you want to know more about the library, we have a video on our YouTube right now. A quick look at the library update. Check it out. It's 11 minutes. All right, moving on. 9 September was a busy day for, as you can guess, bug fixes after the big update with the library. Um, and we learned during one of our streams, our weekly streams, that it was broken. Mods could like essentially publish books for free for a limited time. But version 11.23.1 fixed bug issues for the library, and then subsequently 11.23.2 added structural changes to the game that Mike said we would not notice.
yep.
So
The
there,
hidden structural changes again.
whatever that is, whatever
Yeah, yeah,
CIA stuff, or he's EU, so MI6 stuff. You never know. But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it for 9 September.
Yeah, I've been going back to the library update. I want to talk about that a little bit. Like that was a huge update. Like we had, if you guys
Out
have
of
been
nowhere.
following our, yeah, out of
Mhm,
nowhere, if you've been following our content, like we've been complaining about how there's no lore in the game. It's all created by players and it's not recorded anywhere because it's all in chat or
mhm,
whatever the logs of the game. If the mods could look at those, right? Like, but when he dropped this, Ryan and I were caught off guard. We're like, "Whoa, did not think to add a library in this
yeah,
game. Like, who would want to do that?" I personally, I think it's a great idea to allow players to invest more into the game and have their own content, little niche in the game itself, for people to read and to buy if they want. I think that's really cool.
yeah. It is cool, but it's dangerous. Okay, like, um, not not dangerous, but like I love it. I love it that players who've been around for the longest, who could tell actual, could turn their stories as they've witnessed the evolution of this game into
Right.
books for new
Right.
players to read and for us to read. Um, but at the end of the day, I want official lore. I want world building in a browser based game, which is
Yes.
hard. It's hard. It's a big ask.
Yes.
And I don't want you know simple mo themed romance novels where you know Betsy's inviting Chad over because he's a plumber. I
Yeah.
don't I don't want
Yeah.
that. I don't want
I
that.
yeah. My hope is that this is not a cop out to replace
Ooh,
lore fully in the game.
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like,
And
I do hope that I mean, Mike has already dropped one lore book, about one of the gods.
yeah,
I forget which one it is, but I thought that was cool. I didn't really wanna read all of it, to be honest. I
I didn't
wanted to
even know.
experience it, you
I
know?
didn't even know it was a thing. So
Yeah, the first 2 books that were dropped were a guide on how to publish books and then
yep.
about this god and their lore. Um, yeah, I don't wanna necessarily read lore all the time. I think it's cool that
Mhm.
it's an optional thing to do to learn about the game, but I
Yeah.
wanna experience the lore, you know? I wanna go through quests items or tasks or whatever,
Mhm.
like, step by step that show me how this individual progressed into a god or whatever it may be at
Yeah.
the for the game, you know? So, I really hope it's not a cop out to fulfill that lore gap that the game has right now.
Yeah. I think mainly maybe it's Mike scouting for a good storyteller to
Yeah,
tell his because maybe Mike doesn't have time to tell his story with his NPCs and his gods and stuff. So maybe this is a way to scout out, they have a good penmanship. Let's see if he or she can, write out what I'm thinking.
that's
And
actually a really good idea. Yeah.
yeah, like why not? And then also I mentioned it because I did the YouTube video about the library update, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's Skyrim where there's like a billion books in the game because for
Right.
Alan to experience and enjoy the lore, it has to reference something. So the
Right.
library, even though the library is coming years after the game's been live, it will give you that chance, Alan, I think. If it's done, like you say, if it's not a cop out, if it's done properly and officially, let the players tell their story, have role playing, whether the fuck that's awesome. But like if official lore is injected through the library, I think you'll have your chance to actually be like, this item, this wooden stick makes sense now why it's a starting item. It's because this god cursed all of Simple MMO, all Simple MMO rookies, to prove their worth with a stick, or something like that, right? So the the Daedric gods in the cave of Skyrim, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, yeah, no, it's a huge update. It's a huge opportunity for the players. It's a huge opportunity for the staff and Mike. So we're excited to see what happens with it, and also what's next, because
Yeah.
that didn't catch us off guard. We're not the only ones talking to our friends amongst the staff. They had no idea. So
Yeah. I mean, I think almost every other update that we've seen, like major update, right? Like there's been
yeah,
hints about it or like it was an obvious add to the game, like, oh yeah, guilds, yeah, that makes sense. Like, of
it
course.
was on the roadmap.
Right. It was all yeah, that was
In
the
that,
biggest part. It's on the roadmap, you know? Each time we cover the roadmap, there's not much left anymore. But
yeah,
uh then all of a sudden, bam, library. And you're like, damn, like I could have guessed the major updates that came roll
mhm.
around, even if they weren't on a roadmap, you know, guilds, alliances, you know, guild leaders, whatever, like all
Basic
that, like
MMO
it
stuff.
made sense. It
Yeah,
fit within the game. And then all of a sudden, bam, library, like, wow, I didn't even think about that at all. I think it's a great idea. So I'm
yeah.
excited for the what other update is coming, you know?
I will say because we're talking about it,
Yeah.
and because we've had Alec from Elysium on, and
Yep.
then we're also exposed to um, other Discord servers that or other guilds that have their in-house auction house.
Yeah.
That could be another one too. That could be another. Here's an official in-game auction house where you don't have to go through third party. You know,
Yeah.
so
I would
and
love to
that
see an
that's not on
auction
the
house.
roadmap. Library's not on the roadmap. So what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
I don't know. I
but
guess he'll keep us on our toes.
yeah,
Um All right. So going back to the updates, we are now on 13 September version 11.24. So this added a crap ton of different items in the game. Each category in the game, your weapons, your
Mhm.
armor, your breastplate, your helmets, all that crap. Each category got 450 plus items added into the game, which is insane. And so we actually got a chance to talk to Ubi about this on one of our streams.
Mhm.
And we asked him like, "Hey, did you do all of these?" Like, I couldn't imagine doing 450 of each category
Yeah.
over the course of God knows how long. And turned out no. So Ubi did the two best uh
Sets.
gear piece, yeah, sets, thank you, in
Mm.
the game. And then Mike got just a pack. He bought a pack of items, so that's how it was separated. The best sets, two best sets were from Ubi, and then the rest is just made from a pack.
Yeah.
So
Which, fun fact, a lot of the cool backgrounds we see for the locations, they're all
yes,
map packs. So
yes, yep,
even even the events, even the events. So
yeah,
that took us away. I was like, damn, really?
yeah. I mean, it definitely makes sense because the art style is completely different from all the other
Isn't it?
pieces.
Isn't
Yeah,
that weird? How like
yeah,
God, this fucking Noah theme just blows my brain. Because I'm like the map pack like for the locations. That's like
yeah,
MMO. Like it
yep,
screams MMO biomes regions to
yep,
me.
yep.
And then the NPCs, like the stock NPCs, before the new ones were injected, it's like, okay, this screams MMO, but then you see like everyone's avatar and some of the items, and it's like, all right, never mind. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Is this Gaia Online mixed with RuneScape? I don't know.
it's everything mixed together. So,
Which Gaia
definitely.
Online, if you don't know, is like it was a social
Mhm.
MMO where everyone just dressed up in like costumes and they won in-game currency through mini games just to dress up in like 2D anime costume. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, so I think it's great. At the time, I asked Ubi how many items were in the game
Yeah.
because, like, adding 100, like, 450 per category is insane. Um, and he stated there were at the time that we asked him of 8 September was 57,707 items in the game. So this was before they added 450 plus to each one. So it's gone up. It's probably over 60,000 by now, which is wild to think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So that's 13 September.
Okay. So 14th September, the very next day, we have version 11.24.1. And the changes that were made, we have the step timer now persists even after page change. We have travel background automatically changes after moving to walking to a new town. And so many bug fixes. Did you write that, Alan?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's
I was like, there's so many.
yeah. So for the podcast notes, Alan does the bulk of them for the updates, and it's just funny reading his shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so many bug fixes.
Yeah, I was not gonna even talk about it.
All right. And on the same day, we have 11.24.2, and that made some minor tweaks to the library, added tags to the library. And then it also added the Beloved Writer Award. And it says book that has received 50 stars because players, we forgot to mention this, players can rate books in the library. You can click a star and favorite it pretty much. And then, as Alan says, tons more bug fixes. This is straight from the source, reporting
Absolutely.
live.
Yep, tons
Trust
more.
us.
Dude, I gotta say that the step timer now persists even after page change is so nice. It's a
Mm,
huge quality of life change in my opinion because it's a pain in the ass from going from clicking on a step to then like just hit going over to like the quest tab and then going back to stepping and clicking is like, oh, hold on, the timer's
yeah.
not done yet, and you have
Hold
to
your
sit there.
horses.
Yeah, hold your
Yeah.
horses. Like, god damn, like it showed that I could step. Like, why?
I will
Let me
never
go.
st- I will never step again.
Yeah, yeah.
If you alert me one more time, and it alerts you.
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that it persists now, and I don't have to worry about that. I just see it still going. I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, and these were problems I didn't care about when we never stepped.
Yeah,
We-
yeah. Here we are. Times have
it-
changed.
God, we're toxic, dude. This is just awful.
Uh, so last update was 20 September version 11.224.3,
Mm.
which is interesting that point 3 came out 6 days later. Um, Whatever, it is what it is. Just straight up bug fixes galore is what I put down.
Yes, and he wrote that.
Yeah, word for word, straight up bug fixes galore. Uh, so I actually want to talk about the version numbers themselves real fast because I find
Okay.
it very interesting. One, I find it interesting that it took 6 days to add a point 3 to an update already. But I mean, normally it seemed like it was like point 1, point 2, point 3, just like ah crap, I gotta fix this all in the same day. Um, but we're on 11.24 right now.
Yeah.
At what point do we go to 12.0? I'm very interested in what if there is a version 12 out there that Mike is working towards, and what does that look like? For people who don't know, for patch versions, the first number is like the biggest number, right? So if you
Yeah.
have a huge major change to the game, you change the first number. And then the second number in this case is more of your minor changes or minor adds to the game that don't necessarily completely overhaul the game. So version 9.0 completely overhauled the game with guilds and guild wars and alliances and things like that, right? That was a huge update. I don't know what's gonna happen for version if we'll ever get to version 12.0 or if we'll just keep going to 11.99.99.99 or whatever, you know? So, I just think it's interesting that we're already up to 11.2 24.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, we'll see what happens, I guess.
Maybe maybe he'll, like, announce something that changes, like, something in game that shares something about certain people, and that will be a big update.
Yeah, I doubt it. That'll be like a
Dude, that'd be
11.24.1.1.1,
what?
point 1, point 0, point
Dude,
1.
if he did, I
Uh,
would blush. I would blush for real. I would stream me blushing. I'd be like not that it's about us, but, I'd just blush, whatever I'm talking about. Anyway,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, that's it for the updates. That's it for December. Thank you, Alan, for doing these notes.
Of
And
course.
now my segment, other news within Simple MMO. So most of this news comes from our collective blog post because we here during the months we report on active news and current news within Simple MMO. So while these updates were dropping on 10 September, we had a change to the Simple Mode Discord. We had a media channel added to the Discord. So it's called the media announcement role that's tied to this channel that alerts players of content released by Simple Mode content creators such as us, CouchCat. Um, and at this moment, at the time of recording, there's over 294 players that have picked up the media announcement role. So when not only so if you're in our Discord and you're in the Couch Cat Discord or a Simple MMO Discord, you're gonna get double banged. Okay, that's just how it's gonna be. Um, but this is a great opportunity for us and for other content creators to get noticed. So, I applaud the staff that finally implement this. I know it's kind of like you gotta wait for someone to do this kind of thing to create content about your game, and we're just happy to be able to be seen in the official server. I mean, we've always had a good relationship with Mike and the staff who post
Yeah,
our stuff without us. You know, we're not really begging; like they work with us, and so this server is awesome. Not everything will be pinged because we don't wanna death by
spam.
ping. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But, the mods are kind enough to post our content in this channel, to expose us to, new players. So that's really nifty. It's really nifty, and you'll be able to explore other content creators within the space, which you kinda have to imagine that more are gonna start cropping up now, right? This is future proofing the Discord channel.
yeah. I would
Um,
hope so.
yeah. So it's lonely, it's lonely over here in the on the top, you know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Alright, sorry. I know that comes off as like an asshole, but it's a quote from Title Fight, okay? One of the best pop punk bands out there, okay, jeez. I used to have that hoodie, remember? It's lonely on the top and it's got a deer on it. Anyway,
No,
uh,
no recollection.
this didn't happen in September, but this is uh, us looking forward and, keeping you on your toes, alerting you that the Halloween update or the Halloween event, excuse me, launches the 22nd of October and ends on the 7th of November. This is all straight from in game. You can go to the community tab and hit events. So we're excited. We're always excited for the next event. Halloween is one of my favorite events, followed by Christmas. It's just these months, Alan, these seasons back to back just are
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
for MMOs.
Yeah.
Um, so straight from the game, we have zombies will take over all simple MMO. Rumor has it that the evil monsters responsible for this outbreak can be found in the spooky graveyard. You will need to travel there to defeat them. Don't forget to collect pumpkins and other spooky items along the way. You can exchange them for spectacular rewards. So look forward in October. It's insane. We were just saying it's almost September. Now it's almost October. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um and more added to this during our stream a couple days ago. So last week on Thursday, we had Ubi, the artist of Simple Mill. We've already mentioned him like a ton of times in this episode. He confirmed himself that he's right now solely focused on the event items. So we know they're in production, or we know they're being prepared. I guess you would say prepared, not product. I don't know what you. Yeah. So we know they're being prepared. Um,
They're being made.
they're being made, and it's not last
Yeah.
minute, which is awesome because sometimes talking to Pixel, it's like he'd hit me up. Hey, I think the event's gonna start soon. I should probably work on it. I'm like, I'm not your boss, dude. I'm your homie, like whatever. So Ubi is working on the event items, and he mentioned when when and if he can get the blessings from Wicked, which I hope, which is the game admin. Uh, Ubi's on board with teasing some of the Halloween event art with Couch Cat, probably on one of our streams or maybe a standalone video. We're not sure yet, but we're looking forward to bringing this event um, in front of more players. So always a good time, and that's the rest of the news that has happened up until up into 24th of September. If anything else happens after this, it doesn't exist. All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
all agree it doesn't
Black
exist.
hole. Black hole. Never
Black
happened.
hole. No.
Yeah. Yeah, so, obviously, we're going to a spooky graveyard for the event, right? And
Yeah.
there
Alan's
will
house.
be zombies, of course. Classic. And we're collecting pumpkins. What other thing are we gonna collect? What do you think? Take your best guess.
Wasn't it like witch's brew or a potion or something last time?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I This could be the exact same.
I hope it's not.
Dude, I guarantee it, like, because the last time it was pumpkin, so, like, this could be the exact same, and we just don't. In
I
our
really
defense, we were gone.
Yeah,
We
we
were on
were out of the
hiatus.
loop on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
We can only hide behind that until
Yeah.
Christmas. Like,
Yeah,
after
that's like
Christmas,
yeah.
we can't keep
Yeah.
saying that,
Guys, we were on a hiatus.
"Guys, we're on a hiatus 2
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
We don't
We don't
know."
know what we're talking about. A hiatus.
I guarantee you it's gonna be something like a witch's brew, like a potion,
I'm hoping it's
um,
tombstones or
tombstone.
tombstone.
What if you're unlocking a memory that it was from, like,
Yeah,
2 years ago?
deep down 2 years ago when we were
And,
playing
like,
it, like, tombstone sounds
No
about
Chan
right.
or, like, Keeban or, like, whoever's just gonna be listening to us and be like, "You idiots." It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's my guess. That's what I hope for,
Okay.
because, you know, uh, Bath& and Body Works has a, hand soap sale, and I picked out, like, the Witch's Brew, like, their Halloween line.
Okay. Alright.
And it was just candy corn. That would be a good one.
Oh, I hate
I
candy
love
corn.
candy corn.
Dude, that's such a lame item
Dude,
to collect, in my
Harris
opinion.
Teeter has candy corn mixed with, like, marshmallow and, like, caramel popcorn, like, dude. I mean, what else? What else would you want? You want it to be weird like the community event, and you're collecting, like, an animal, like, "Hey,
No.
here's a bunch of
Black
black
cats?
cats."
Yeah.
Yeah. I have, like,
I just
500 black cats in my
yeah,
pocket.
yeah. I just like to collect black cats. What can I say? I
Animal
don't know.
control is gonna stop me one day, but not
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, but
Uh,
whatever it's gonna be another limited, 22nd through the 7th. It's not a lot of time.
right, 2
Um,
weeks. So
Yeah. So we've been softened up with the community event. So this one will
Yeah.
actually have to bust her ass, and I still only got 1 item from the community
Yeah. This is gonna
event.
be a grind. That's
Yeah,
alright.
that's it, that's it. So, those were the updates, and that was the other news. Alan, do you have any parting words for our listeners?
No, appreciate you guys listening or watching, and I look forward to Halloween event.
Alright, alright. Same here. I can't wait for the Halloween event. And you know what? And
What?
thanks to who donated recently, actually today, shout out to Soul. We'll do another shout out on the stream, but I just wanted to throw that out there, like, shout out to Soul. Shout out to all of our friends that have donated to who've bought us a cup of coffee, so to speak. We appreciate it. But yeah, that's the video. If you like it, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and head over to couchcatpod.com for more Simple MMO content. Peace out, everyone.
Bye-bye.